Bad deal, should have never been thought of.
$7 million for reef fish management, $25 million to combat Asian carp, $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico.
It's not that they don't want to help. They don't know quite what to do. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night. The phone. Make sure the kids hear word.
Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting, pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon.
Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Could you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know.
But the real problem is that our leaders are dumb. Dumb. So dumb.
And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. They're so innocent. This is soup from my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup for my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people. And then they have cans of soup. Soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick. It's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. They're so innocent. This is soup from my family. It's incredible. And yet, isn't it wonderful to allow protesting? No.
It's like, oh, Abel's your guy, eh, God? How about if I take him out in the field and beat him to death?
Dub is a shit fuck, you know, cringe tour, etc., etc.
Hello, users, and welcome to another episodic installation of the Goddamn. I got a show here lined up. It's lined up, and we're gonna be doing a show. We lined up a show today, and I'm gonna be doing it. I'm gonna be doing the program. Hold up. Welcome to the program, folks. I am here. I am alive once again to do a program. It is Tuesday, I believe. It is Tuesday. It is the day of the twos. It's day of Tuesday. And I'm doing a show. I'm sorry, that was my first weed hit of the day. I'm losing it now. But we got a program lined up, a programmatic experience. What kind of program am I doing? I don't know. Yeah, there's a couple things. Okay, so, first of all, tonight, I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be at the Movie Night Extra Vaganza program. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be on this broadcast. As you can see, this is they've got their little advertisement. We're going to be talking about the Muppet movie. As you can see, there, right there, if you look at the mouse cursor, that's my name. That's who I am. That's the name that corresponds with this giant collection of whatever sitting on a chair. Speaking of chairs, I have purchased a replacement chair for this little kitchen piece of shit. If you can see that. I've got a replacement chair coming. And so, I don't know. You know, we'll see how it fits into my little location here. And then we'll go from there. But that's the situation. That's the update. Thank you for watching. Right, that's the start of the show. All right. I thought I was at the end. All right. Let's see. So we got something. We got something here. We could talk about something. Can I drop the link? That's a good idea. It's a good idea. Drinking Polar Cranberry Lime. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Alright, let's talk about this. So, I think I covered this one yesterday, but there's been an update. Lucio, this is the situation in Texas. Where someone is on death row for a crime that never actually occurred. She was tortured for several hours by police, and, you know, was convinced to give a false confession and then sentenced to prison for 14 years so far. She is set to be executed this week, but it appears that there has been a stay of execution, and so I'm going to read this because this is actually really good news. The Texas Court of Criminal Appeals granted Melissa Lucio a stay of execution on Monday and ordered a court to consider new evidence in her case just 48 hours before she was scheduled to be put to death. Lucio was told the news in an emotional phone call with Texas Rep. Jeff Leach. Leach, I'm not sure, where the Hispanic mother of 14 sobbed and gasped, "Are you serious?" Asking. In a statement, the 53-year-old thanked God for saving her life and paid tribute to her daughter Maria, who is in my heart today and always. Lucio's attorneys and supporters also celebrated the ruling, including Kim Kardashian, who called it, quote, the best news ever. The last-minute stay came minutes before the Texas Board of Pardons and Paroles was to recommend whether or not Lucio's death sentence should be commuted to life imprisonment or if she should be granted a 120-day execution reprieve. Like, I don't understand this execution reprieve. Like why? And also, why did they wait until, like she's thinking, oh my God, I'm going to get executed on Wednesday? She is thinking, oh my God, I'm going to get executed in 36 hours. They're going to fucking murder me in 36 hours, right? And then, like, they just, like, right beforehand, they're like, we'll give you another couple months. Like, I just, like, why do they always wait when they do this kind of stuff, when this stuff is happening? They always just run out the clock to the last minute. I don't know. Like, with all the, like, the changes, and it's like, we're set to kill you on Wednesday. But on Tuesday night, we're going to review on whether or not we should kill you on Wednesday or we should kill you in 18 Wednesdays from now. We're not sure. It's just... The last-minute stay came minutes before the Texas Board of Pardons and Paroles. Yeah, I already read that. The parole board said it would not recommend clemency after the stay was announced. Lucio was sentenced to death for the 2007 murder of her 2-year-old daughter, Maria. Her lawyers say she was coerced into a false confession during an aggressive police interrogation, and that scientific evidence shows Maria died from a fall. Now, again, with the Independent here, this is what I'm reading the article on, is failing to mention is that the quote-unquote, interrogation by police was 5 hours long. 5 hours long. And what it also fails to mention is that Melissa Lucio has a history of being a trauma and abuse victim. So, 5 hours of torture for an abuse victim? I'm sorry. Like, there's no true confession that could be had in that scenario. But anyway, this is really good news. So, there you go. Sometimes good things happen. You know, Rielon, I swear to fucking God, Rielon. You and your little skits and your little... whoa, and I'm gonna be wacky. Like, I swear to God. Alright. So we got a show here, doing a program. Doing a program here today. Let's read. This is from The Hill. The goddamn Hill. 58% of voters open to backing independent candidate if faced with Biden and Trump. Where have we seen this before? I fucking swear to God. I swear to God dang God. And I don't even believe in God. Just throwing that out there. Like, every single election cycle, there's always, like, you know, at some point in between the presidential elections, everyone in the country grows, like, some gigantic ball sacks all over their body. They're just covered in balls, right? And they're like, yeah, I'm gonna vote third party, motherfucker. That's right, I'm not gonna vote for the lesser of two evil. Fuck no. No, the next election, this is gonna be the election. That's right, I'm voting third party. I'm voting for an end. And then... the elections come around, and where are they? Where are they? Where are all these, like, brass ball little cocksuckers that were wandering around for several years saying, oh, I'm going to vote third party, I'm going to vote for an independent, I'm not going to vote for these guys. Last time, I was waiting. I was waiting last time. Remember, everyone was like, yeah, that's right, we're going to vote third party. If Bernie loses, we're going to vote third party. What did third parties get in the last election? Like fucking 3 or 4%? Hey, I'm just saying. I'm just saying, what the fuck. Anyway, I love how Biden looks like. Like, Trump, like, looks, you know, he looks like orange. You know, he's just orange. So, but Biden looks like he's like a little puppy dog staring into your soul. He's like, oh, I love Joe Biden, and I approve him. 58% of voters said they were open to supporting a moderate, independent presidential candidate in a contest between Biden and Trump. Why do they have to be moderate? What does that mean, moderate? Like, who comes up with... Like, just because it's not Democrat or Republican doesn't mean they have to be, like, a moderate. Like, they did the fusion dance or some shit. Like, what the fuck? Additionally, the survey found the majorities of voters said they do not want Biden or Trump to run in 2024. 63% of respondents said they did not want Biden to run for a second term. Reminder, Bernie said he would run. Well, he said he might run. He said he might run, to be clear. If Biden doesn't run, I'm just throwing that out there. While only 37% said they did not want him to run again in 2024, Biden. Meanwhile, 55% of respondents said they did not want Trump to run again in 2024. 45% said they thought the former president should run again. That's still a fuckload, by the way. That's still a fuckload. America wants to move forward, not back. And if they are faced with a Trump-Biden choice, there will be an unprecedented opportunity for an independent candidate to run and win. This is what they always say. They always say, oh, no. It's going to be Jill Stein. It's going to be fucking Howie Hawkins. That's right. We're going to get him. Like, who's going to be the guy? Are we going to vote green again? Like, are the libertarians going to, like, who's going to win? Is Jesse Ventura gonna, whoa, like, are all these people just gonna come out? No, they're not, right? Because these people are pussies. They're not gonna vote third party. They're a bunch of losers. I'm talking about Americans. Americans are fucking losers. That's what I'm talking about. America wants to move forward. I already read that. However, among their own bases, Trump and Biden are the top 2024 presidential picks. 37% of voters said that if the Democratic presidential primary for 2024 election were held today, they would vote for Biden. While 58% say they would vote for Trump if the GOP presidential primary were held today. Why? Like, first of all, if Biden runs and anyone runs against him, I would be shocked. Now, they should. Biden should not just be allowed to be crowned the nominee in 2024. People should be running against him no matter what. If he's in the race, if he's not in the race, people should be running for president. That's my opinion. But then also, who are these losers that if there is an open primary, they're going to be voting for Biden? What? The motherfucker's got 30% approval rating. Nobody likes him. Like, who are these motherfuckers that are like, they're presented with options, right? It's not like it's Biden or Trump, right? It's Biden or maybe Elizabeth Warren. Oh, she's so great. Isn't she wonderful? Oh, maybe it'll be Cory Booker. Oh, he is so great. I love him. Maybe it'll be, I don't know. Maybe it'll be AOC. Oh, she's such a far lefty. Oh my God. Right? Like, who not? Like, why would anyone, I can't imagine the Democrat that's like presented with a field of other options and then still chooses Biden. Like, that to me, I mean, okay. I mean, like, to me, it just doesn't. In a hypothetical match, 45% of respondents said they would vote for Trump, while 43% said they would vote for Biden. That's not good. That's not good. In a hypothetical, speculation has swirled around whether Biden 79 and Trump 75 will find themselves in a rematch in the next presidential election. Politics watchers and voters have questioned both of their ages as well as their unpopularity among voters. Trump, who is currently hitting the campaign trail for several GOP midterm candidates this year, has repeatedly floated a potential presidential run. I mean, he's gonna, like, no shit, unless he has like some medical condition or something. Last week, The Hill first reported that Biden told former President Barack Obama that he plans to run again in 2024. Disaster. I mean, I get it why Biden says that he's going to run again. I understand. I get why he would say that in April 2022. That, to me, makes sense. Right? But actually running again, like, I get why you'd lie about it until, like, you know, like, oh, then my heart hurts or something, and then you can't do it or whatever. I get it. Right? But it's like, if he actually does run again, we're fucked. We're fucked. If Biden runs, oh my God, we're so fucked. We're so fucked. But anyway, you know, 58% of voters open to backing independent candidate. That's not going to happen. They're never going to do that. They'll say that in a poll, but when push comes to shove, these little spineless fuckface Americans, they're not going to do jack shit. They're not going to fucking do anything. Oh, we're open to independent candidates. That's what they said in 2016. That's what they said in 2020. And that's what they're going to continue to say in 2024. Like, I mean, we're just, you know, I'm just throwing that out there. So if you keep saying you're going to do it, I don't know, maybe you should do it. We had an opportunity in 2020. There was an independent running in the Democratic primary. Where were these brass ball, like, fucking, like, super tall cocksuckers back then? They were voting for people like Tulsi Gabbard because they're fucking stupid. That's where they were. Anyway. We got a show. I'm doing a program here. I'm doing a fucking program here. All right. doing a program. Goddamn Marshall. Texts show Marjorie Taylor Greene asked Meadows about martial law. Now, this is actually a typo. I'm reading this from CBS News. This is actually a typo right here. Marjorie Taylor Greene did not ask Meadows about martial law. She asked Meadows about martial law. M-A-R-S-H-A-L-L, of course, as you can see here. So let's read this. Washington. In mid-January 2021, just days before President Joe Biden's inauguration, Republican Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia texts then White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows to tell him some GOP members of Congress had privately suggested former President Trump, aka the Orange Man, aka the guy who lost the 2020 election, should declare martial law, according to texts obtained by CBS News and first reported by CNN. So they were obtained by CBS, but they were first reported by CNN? So when they say CBS obtained them, does that mean you just, like, looked at the CNN article and then did a screenshot? Like, what does that mean, obtained? Like, what is obtained in this instance? Like, what, like, they just say words. Greene testified last week she does not recall whether she encouraged the president to impose martial law. Quote, in our private chat with only members, several are saying that only way to save our republic is for Trump to call for martial law. Greene wrote to Meadows. I love Marshall. I can't with Marshall. Like, I can't, like, this is not, like, Marjorie Taylor Greene's not the first Republican to do this. Martial law, like, every time a Republican, and it's always a Republican, that every time I just can't with it. I don't know on these things. I just want you to tell him they stole this election. Again, I just want to remind everyone, Donald Trump lost the 2020 election. Joe Biden actually won the 2020 election. Can you believe it? Well, you should, because that's what happened. Joe Biden is the winner. We all know they will destroy our country next. Please tell them to declassify as much as possible so we can go after Biden and anyone else. That is one of multiple texts Greene sent to Meadows in the post-election period around January 6, 2021. Greene also told Meadows, we think the people who assaulted the Capitol on Jan 6 are Antifa, dressed like Trump supporters. Meadows turned over his text messages to the Jan 6 committee, probing the assault, and then declined to cooperate further with the committee. He's just like, all right, take all my texts. I'm going to go hide in the closet for like 6 years. I'm going to go freeze myself. I'll be back in, in a couple centuries. CNN first reported the texts, along with more than 2,000 texts Meadows exchanged with top aides, television personalities, members of Congress, and GOP activists. It is unclear from the records whether Meadows responded. Greene, who is fighting a challenge by constituents to block her from appearing on the Georgia ballot, testified in an administrative hearing Friday that she doesn't remember whether she encouraged the president to impose martial law as a way to remain in power. Quote, I don't recall, Greene told the court Friday. Anyway, you can read the rest of this if you want. But yes, just she's caught lying once again. What's this little video here? What's this video say? Is there audio?
They were unveiled today. Among the texts is a suggestion from members of Congress
urging the president anything. The newly investigating the nation for martial law. I don't know on those.
Goddamn martial law. I can't with martial law. These motherfuckers. I mean, like, my God.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
There you go. I cut my fingernails the other day because like 3 of them broke in one day, so I just decided to cut them all, and I did not do a great job. Goddamn martial law. I can't with that fucking shit. I can't do martial law. I just can't do it. I just refuse to accept martial law as a... I can't do it. I just can't do it. All right. What type of chair did I order? I don't know. I got some chair. It's a chair. It exists. It's a fucking chair. I don't know. I don't know the brand. I don't know what model. It's just a chair. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry if I can't be any more helpful. But hopefully it'll be here within a week. Goddamn. All right, so we got a program here. So we got some news out of Grand Rapids. Michigan police identify cop who fatally shot black man after traffic stop. This is from the New York Post. I want to see what they're saying. Police on Monday identified the Michigan cop who fatally shot a 26-year-old black man in the back of the head after a traffic stop earlier this month. Christopher Schur, who has been a member of the Grand Rapids Police Department for 7 years, was confirmed by authorities as the officer who shot dead Patrick Loyola on April 4th. Grand Rapids Police Chief Eric Winstrom said in a Monday statement he released Schur's name in the interest of transparency to reduce ongoing speculation and to avoid any further confusion. Schur's name had been circulating online since his face was seen in videos of the April 4 confrontation with Loyola. Loyola's family had called for the officer to be publicly identified at a recent memorial service. The department statement comes 2 weeks after chilling video footage of the killing was made available to the public. So here's the guy. I don't care about the Sunday Scoop. Schur had pulled over Loyola on April 4 after he said the car's license plate did not match the vehicle. Video shows Loyola step out of the car, appearing confused as the cop I'd be confused too if I got pulled over. I'd love to know why I'm pulled over and I'm not pulling into my driveway and walking into my front door. As the cop demands his license and registration and orders him to step back into the car, Loyola starts to walk away as the officer attempts to cuff him. That is not true. Loyola went around to go into the passenger seat to get the license and registration as he was asked to do so. This is just factually untrue. That's fake news from New York Post. After a short foot chase, Schur and Loyola get into a scuffle in the front yard and wrestle over the officer's taser. While on top of Loyola, Schur draws his gun and fires a single shot into the back of Loyola's head, who immediately stops moving, video shows. A forensic pathologist performing an independent autopsy on Loyola confirmed that he was shot once by a gun that was held to the back of his head. Schur had been on administrative leave, that is to say paid vacation. That is paid vacation. Once again, I want to ask everyone a question. If I go to work at the goddamn Sonic restaurant, right? I just happen to bring my gun, right, to work. Someone wants to order some mozzarella sticks and a burger, and I decide, you know what? You know what? Let's say they hand me $10 and it was like $11, right? What are you trying to rip me off? What? So I pull out my gun and I shoot them in the back of the head as they're running away. Would I get paid vacation? Would my employer give me paid vacation? No! I would be terminated literally immediately and then also thrown in jail for the rest of my life. So I want to ask everyone, why is it that police somehow is the only job where you can just, for whatever reason you want, shoot someone and murder them and then just get paid vacation? If I'm working at, like, you know, I don't know, at a fucking department store, and I decide, you know what? This person's looking at me funny. I'm going to fucking murder them. I'm going to shoot them in the back of the head with the gun that I brought to work. Would I get paid vacation? No. I just like this idea that somehow it's okay for police to just murder people for fun and entertainment. Once again, according to Mapping Police Violence, which is a project that tries to map and follow up on all of these police murders. First of all, 1,000 people are murdered by police every day, or rather every year. And that is just murders. That does not count, like, you know, being shot and then surviving. That does not count being unfairly arrested. That does not count just being stopped and harassed for several hours, right? That's just murders. And of the murders, 98% don't even get charged. 98% of police who murder people for any reason that they want don't even have to go to court and argue that they're innocent, right? They don't even bother with getting exonerated by the corrupt justice system. They're just like, whatever, let's just cover this up. Let's pretend it didn't happen. Schur has been on administrative leave, aka paid vacation, since the incident. Michigan State Police investigate whether he should be charged. According to MLive, he had been with the department for 7 years. Winstrom added the department, that's the chief, would release more information on the shooting later this week. The death of Loyola, a Congolese refugee, sparked protests in Grand Rapids by activists who say it represents the latest example of police violence against young black men. Once again, is anything going to happen? No, of course not, because they have all the power. Why would they give up any power when they have all the power? Nothing's going to happen. And this is why, once again, police need to be abolished. There is no middle ground. There is no, oh, but this and that, and no, we'll carry the 4, and then maybe police will stop killing people. That's not how it works. 80% of cops voted for Donald Trump, an open neo-Nazi, right? 40% of cops are documented during, according to studies, that beat their family, their kids, their spouses, people that they live with. 40% of them are domestic abusers, right? These are big problems. And are any of them going to be fixed? No, of course not. Why would they? Because the people who want to fix them have no power, and the people that benefit from the system have all the power. They have 100% of the power, right? Look what happened when George Floyd was murdered, right? Look at all the political energy the Democrats tried to steal. And then Joe Biden 3x's police budgets nationwide. 3x. Right? So the Democratic Party, Joe Biden himself, Kamala Harris, right? They all campaigned on, vote for Democrats and we'll pass the George Floyd Policing Act or whatever. That never happened. And then instead, we got a tripling of local police department funding from Joe Biden. So I'm just saying, and I'm not saying Donald Trump would have been better. Of course, Donald Trump would have been worse. But what I'm saying is 100% of the people that have power or will ever have power, unless, we become a little bit more involved in the system, they will always be in charge. They will always win. Unless we change the rules of the game. And that's why, in my opinion, protesting is extremely important action to do in these sorts of situations. It's about community organizing. It's about building a relationship with people that live near you, live around you. And so that if something like that happens again, which statistically it will, instead of, going out there and protesting with people who you've never met before and not knowing how to go and proceed, you go out there and protest and you've got 5,000 people and they're all best friends and they know exactly what they're doing and they have plans of action, right? So organizing is the number one thing you can do in moments of crisis like this. And so, of course, 100% solidarity with the protesters in Grand Rapids. It's actually 98.3% to be clear. All right, I'm going to look for another news story. Let's see what we got. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit, cock. Oh, shit, fuck. I'm looking at this thing real quick. All right. What is this? All right. Let's see how this goes. I'm very curious to see what this is about. This is from the New York Times. Get ready for the new and improved second. Now, I'm unprimed. I don't know anything about this. Scientists are preparing to redefine the fundamental unit of time. It won't get any longer or shorter, but it will be more precise and a whole lot more powerful. So it's going to be more precise without changing. Now this is fascinating. Modern civilization, it is said, would be impossible without measurement. And measurement would be pointless if we weren't all using the same units. You know, I'm just pro-metric. Just throwing that out there, pro-metric. For nearly 150 years, the world's metrologists have agreed on strict definitions for units of measurement throughout the International Bureau of Weights and Measures, known by its French acronym BIPM. BIPM, and based outside Paris. BIPM! Nowadays, the Bureau regulates the 7 base units that govern time, length, mass, electrical current, temperature, and the intensity of light and the amount of a substance. Together, these units are the language of science, technology, and commerce. This motherfucker in chat, Andrew Kohler. Kevlin is better than Celsius. First of all, fucking Kevlin. What? Second of all, I call it centigrade, motherfucker. Centigrade's way cooler. Let's be real. BIPM! Scientists are constantly refining the standards. In 2018, they approved new definitions for the kilogram mass, ampere current, Kelvin, not to be confused with Kevlin, as Andrew Kohler in the chat is very interested in, and mole, amount of a substance. Now, with the exception of the mole, all of the standards are subservient to one, time. The meter, for example, is defined as the distance light travels in a vacuum during 1/2 of a second. Likewise, the new definition of kilogram rests on the second in a manner too complicated to explain in fewer than several paragraphs. All the units now are not autonomous units, but they are all depending on the second, said Noel C. Demarque, a physicist and president of BIPM's Consultative Committee for Time and Frequency. We're getting into some complex science here. I'm learning a lot. That means that conceptually, if clumsily, you could express other units such as weight or length in seconds. You go to the grocery store, I say, I would like not 1 kilogram of potatoes, but an amount of seconds of potatoes? What on earth? What on earth? Yet now, for the first time in more than half a century, scientists are in the throes of changing the definition of the second, because a new generation of clocks is capable of measuring it more precisely. Whoa, here we go. In June, metrologists with the BIPM have a final list of criteria that must be met to set the new definition. Dr. Demarque said he expected that most would be fulfilled by 2026, and that formal approval would happen by 2030. It must be done carefully. The architecture of global measurement depends on the second. So when the unit's definition changes, its duration must not. It's like a once in every 50-year thing, said Elizabeth A. Donnelly, chief of the Time and Frequency Division at the National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST, in Boulder, Colorado. She is on the BIPM's International Consultative Committee with Dr. Demarque. And it's also a big deal. There you go. So anyway, they're changing the second. Once humans told time by looking at the heavens, but since 1967, meteorologists have defined time instead by measuring what's going on inside an atom. Clocking, as it were, the eternal heartbeat of the universe. Oh shit, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We're going in. Look at these guys. They went in, and now we're going deeper in. We're going inside the atoms. We're zooming in. All right. But time still has its roots and even its nomenclature in astronomical timekeeping. Originally, it was based on the path of the Earth in its daily spin, day to night and back again. Eventually, ancient Egyptian astronomers who used the duodecimation duodecimal counting system, based on 12, divided the day and night into 12 hours each, giving us 24 hours in the day. Those hours varied in length, depending on where Earth was in its orbit around the sun a little more than 2,000 years ago. Greek astronomers, who needed fixed hours to calculate things like the movement of the moon, developed the revolutionary idea that a single day ought to be divided into 24 hours of the same length. Bip 'em! The same astronomical thinking led to the... Okay, so yeah, we got the little history lesson, which I do like. I do appreciate the history lesson. But let's, Metrologists turn to the far more predictable movement of atomic particles. Atoms never wear out or slow down. Their properties do not change over time. They are perfect timepieces. By the middle of the 20th century, scientists had coaxed atoms of cesium-133 into divulging their secret inner ticks. Cesium, a silvery gold metal that is liquid at about room temperature, has heavy, slow atoms, which means they are relatively easy to track. Goddamn bip 'em. Scientists put cesium atoms in a vacuum and exposed them to the energy of microwaves. In the non-visible range of the electromagnetic field, the task was to figure out which wavelength of frequency would excite as many cesium atoms as possible into emitting a packet of light or photon. Photon. The photons were picked up by a detector and counted. Smia, I understand zero of this. All right, let me see if I get this. So, okay. So, we used to use, like, sundials and shit, right? Looking like, fucking Stonehenge and all that crap to measure time. But, dumbass motherfuckers. They don't know it's right? So, we're thinking, all right, so we got computers now. We got, like, these machines. Let's try to find, like, what is a second? We used to use clocks or whatever, to figure out seconds, Let's try to, like, actually figure out what a second is. So, they're zooming in, They're zooming in. I understand that, right? So they get a certain kind of metal, right? And they just track the way that the atoms move inside of this metal, because apparently it's consistent, according to this. It's consistent enough that you can, like, kind of tie a second to, an atomic reaction. So I guess, yeah, so they're not changing the second, right? Like, so the article, get ready for the new improved second. What this means, basically, is they're just going to get more details about what's happening over the span of a second. That's what it seems to be here. The redefinition is in the works because scientists have developed new instruments called optical atomic clocks. These operate on similar principles to cesium clocks, but I don't know how to pronounce it, so it could be cesium, I don't know. But measure atoms that have a much faster natural frequency resonance, or tick. Those frequencies are in the visible or optical range of the electromagnetic spectrum rather than the microwave range. Hence the name. Goddamn bip 'em! There are several species of optical clock, each counting the ticks of a different atom, or ion. Yttrium, strontium, mercury, aluminium, and more. So far, no species has emerged as the clear favorite for the upcoming redefinition. Optical clocks are very definitely not ready for prime time, said Judah Levine, a physicist at NIST's Time and Frequency Division. They are laboratory projects. Okay, so they're working on zooming in, finding out a new way to measure the second. That's interesting. Genuinely, I'm not, I'm not joking. That is interesting. But also, there you go. That's it. By 2030, we got a new second, and that'll do something. Huh? There's some science for you. I just looked at the science section. Anyway, it's time. Y'all, it is time. I need everyone to listen to me right now. If you have not seen the third episodic installation of the 6th season of the television program known as Better Call Saul, if you have not seen this, I need you to go fuck yourself. And by that, I mean I need you to leave immediately, turn whatever you're watching off, jump out the window, whatever you need to do, go and watch the program, because I am going to be doing the Better Call Saul Season 6, Episode 3 review. An excellent episodic installation, let me tell you. So we got a little photo of Nacho here I'm going to use for this. Get him on screen. Spoiler alert, Nacho killed himself. It's over. It happened. What we've all been waiting for. You know, Nacho's not in Breaking Bad, right? So we knew from the beginning something's got to happen to Nacho. So how did it go? Well, so I just want to be very upfront with my drug use. I was on a lot of drugs last night when I watched this, and I'm not going to lie, when this motherfucker, so Nacho is running away from multiple groups. He's running away from, like, you know, the cartel and all that shit, you know, the police, right? There's this one part where he, like, submerges himself in, like, oil, right, to, like, hide from people that are chasing him. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was freaking out. Like, you know, I was doing some drugs, and so I was like, oh, he's gonna die in the oil. He can't breathe in oil. I was freaking out. They made that scene so long. I don't know how long it was, but for me, it felt like that scene lasted like 10 minutes where he submerged himself in oil. And then he comes out and he successfully escapes, like, the cousin characters. And I'm thinking, oh, hell yeah. So he's going to make it, right? But eventually, he doesn't end up making it. He makes a deal, with the Mike and the Gustavo, and ends up, subverting the cartel from them, setting up Breaking Bad. But then he kills himself, and it was so sad. It was so sad to watch, God damn. Anyway, the Saul parts of the show were also really good. I'm glad that Huel has returned to the program. They did a whole scam, a classic scam. I'm loving how the Saul character arc is developing. I just hope, my big hope is that Kim does not die as well. If she dies, that'd be very sad. But we'll see how it goes. I don't think she will, personally. I don't think she will. I'm gonna stake out that position. I'm staking out that position. That Kim's not gonna die. But anyway, Nacho died, main character, Gonzo. Fucking rip. So, when Nacho, like, called his dad, damn. Damn. When he was crying on the phone, right? Too good. And then also when Nacho, like, told Hector, the guy in the wheelchair, that he's the one who poisoned him and put him in the wheelchair. Oh! That motherfucker got so mad. It was great. It was a great ep. I don't know. It was a fantastic ep. Really good ep. I'm enjoying the season so far. 1, 2, and 3. Very, very good developments. Again, I'm a huge Better Call Saul fan. I'm big into it. And I'm very excited to see how it goes. But, Nacho's dead. That scene was crazy to watch. Again, yeah, it's a good show. I have nothing else to say. I'm really high, but it was a good app. I enjoyed it. Rip Nacho, and I'm excited for next week. Oh, I think the Howard arc is I think it's definitely going to expand. This guy, yep, that guy. He got owned epic style. By the way, if you haven't already figured this out, I'm doing a shorter program today. So, tomorrow, Cooking with the Bitch, I've got to edit that bullshit today. I've been a little neglectful. So I've got to edit that today. That'll be up tomorrow at 11:30, unless there's any, developments that occur. Tonight, I will be on a program of programmatic, it's a program. Going to be talking about the Muppet movie at the Movie Night Extravaganza program. This is at 8 p.m. So, go watch that. It's going to be fun. I'm working on getting, I've got like a big backlog of videos I need to put up because last week I was playing a lot of Dungeon Dice Monsters and I did not properly do my other duties. So I've been posting clips, you know, trying to get all that done. Tomorrow is going to be a new Doom WOD for the Doom stream. Well, for me, I've decided on what it's going to be. And it's an old classic. It's a classic. So, I like the idea of switching up, doing, WODs that I'm already familiar with, and then mixing in WODs that are new to me. That's going to be the method, so I'm going to play one I'm familiar with. And, so that's going to be tomorrow. As well, yeah. Yep, just doing a little of a shorter program today, just because, you know, I have a lot of shit I want to do today as well, in like addition, you know, to personal life stuff that I want to do. Like, I want to eat. A pic of the future chair. You'll see it when it comes. That's all I can say. Goddamn. Is there anything else to talk about? Like, what else is there in the world? Yep, Elon bought Twitter. But I think I covered that yesterday. I'm not sure. But that's a thing. Ain't been enough pre-announcement chair announcements to announce what kind of chair yet. Oh, I don't, honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't remember what the chair is. I have none of that information at all in my brain currently. Like, that was a different person that ordered a chair. That was a whole different human with all their different motivations. I'm putting my faith in that person who ordered the chair. I'm putting my faith that they knew what they were talking about, because I don't remember it. I'm not going to lie. I was really high yesterday. I don't remember it. So, I'm going to hope that that person who inhabited my body approximately 18 hours ago when they ordered the chair, I'm going to hope that there was some good decision making. If not, you know, we'll deal with it later. But I'm, you know, probably fine. All right. Yeah, I've got this, like, clip on. Should I talk about, like, I saw this scrolling through Twitter again. I love to scroll through Twitter as I'm ending the show just to see anything. But yeah, fucking Brianna Joy Gray had Glenn Greenwald on the show. Maybe tomorrow. I think we're good to go, y'all. Y'all have a good day.
dumb as a shit fuck, you know, cringe tour, etc., etc.
So notice something. I defended him on his bad joke because I have standards and I have principles.
I went in yesterday and there was a television screen, and I said, this is genius. Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Could you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know.
I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I try to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
$7 million for reef fish management, $25 million to combat Asian carp, $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico.
I liked beer. I still like beer. But I did not drink beer to the point of blacking out.
It's like, oh, Abel's your guy, eh, God? How about if I take him out in the field and beat him to death?
Honestly, Sam, if I could just get this sentence out, we can talk about Jimmy Dore can go and kill 15 kids tomorrow, and I still believe in force the vote.
You know, I eat extra sharp. That's what I eat.